Hi friends, welcome to A Wonderful Sheep and welcome to my December reading wrap-up look through my reading journal video. It's the last month of the year. Can't believe how fast this year has gone by. This journal is quite full and I'm hoping to do a flip through of this whole journal as well. But let's look at December in books. Here's my cover page. I returned to cut paper collage and did just sort of like Christmas holiday motifs. And these actually inspired some late Christmas cards that I made. And then I stamped some books on this bookshelf with my cling stamps and added the books I read. Sticking with the holiday theme, I did a December header across the top and then cut down the pages for the month in review. And I used up some vintage Christmas ephemera from my pen pal Cindy. She sent me some ephemera years ago and I finally used that up. And there's no rhyme or reason to the order of these books because my printer was not cooperating for a while. So I had printed some covers and they were like missing, like this is missing the magenta. These are missing the magenta. So I had to troubleshoot that and I just used the covers I had printed before I was able to fix it. But on this first page, I've written about The Myth Makers, which is a graphic novel about the remarkable friendship between C.S. Lewis and J.R. Tolkien. And it was really interesting to read. I mean, obviously I've heard of both authors, I've read their books, but I didn't know about their lives personally. So that was really nice to read and I liked the graphic novel. And then random assortment of this is Under Lock and Key, which was like a paranormal romance. It's kind of funny. The male main character is, I guess without spoiling it, I think you can kind of figure he's a paranormal creature. And then Breath of Magic. The premise was absolutely wild. It's like a Puritan era witch time travels to the present, which is like the 1990s, New York City to meet a tech billionaire of the 90s. It was a book of the 90s, but it was kind of fun to read. And then for nonfiction, technically, I haven't finished this yet. I have one chapter left, but I know I'm going to finish it before the end of the month. I read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This was following A New Earth, which I read over the summer and fall. And I read a medieval, which I don't usually tend to stray into the medievals in my historical romance, but I read Untamed by Elizabeth Lowell. I can't remember how I found out about it, but it came in from Holds and I read through it. And it does what a medieval does for historical romance. It's very like primitive in a way that like gives me some eye rolls, but at the same time it was still like fun to read. And then Huzzah, I troubleshooted the printing problem and now the magenta is printing again. And the only like holiday Christmassy story I read this year was a novella by a new to me author, Cecilia Grant. I found out about this one through a thread by Kate Claiborne and A Christmas Gone Perfectly Wrong, which is free on Kindle. I believe it's free all the time. So I was able to download that and read it and I had a really good time. I liked her prose a lot. It reminds me of Sherry Thomas and like the writing is very beautiful and the historical research is really in-depth. And so this was a Christmas novella on top of a series, the Blackshear series. And so after I read the novella, I read through the series, and unfortunately, I think these are the only books that she's written so far. Like she hasn't written anything new since the series came out over 10 years ago, but I really enjoyed discovering a new author. And then, dun dun dun, this very like random sticker in the middle to show that I finally read Lord of Scoundrels by Loretta Chase, which is a sort of classic in the historical romance genre, and I've heard of it before. You know, it's been about 2 years now that I started reading historical romance, and I'd heard about this book and I never picked up because I knew it was written in the 90s, and sometimes the older historical romances can, you know, give you pause, but this was so good. I understand the hype, and Lord of Scoundrels just sort of got me into reading Loretta Chase novels, and I'm listening to a bunch of Loretta Chase novels narrated by Kate Redding right now, but this was amazing. Like, I get it. I get it. I loved the female main character, Jessica Trent. She's just amazing. She's so awesome. She takes no nonsense from the male main character, and it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, that was a 5-star read for me. And also the Cecilia Grant novels were excellent. The Medieval was really fun. Yeah, I mean, a pretty good reading month. Really high in the historical romance. And that's it for December in books. And I've started to do like a little bit of a yearly wrap up thanks to Storygraph, which if you haven't heard about Storygraph, it's like a book tracking, reading tracking app. And I love it. It now also offers these graphic reviews, so you can look up your month and see. You can have a cover collage, you can have a calendar that shows all the reading you did, and it also does these like stats for you, which is amazing. And I was thinking of printing out all of these for all the months to put in the back, but that would make this book too chunky, so I think I'm going to do something else for the few pages that are left in the back. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the year. Look forward to this flip through. Hopefully I will be able to film that. And I'll see you next time. Bye.